Hey guys, welcome back to another War of Rights video. Long time no see. So today I wanted to discuss update 166 to War of Rights, the artillery release into the actual game. It is a big development and it's going to really change the game going forward. So basically update 166, there's a lot of different changes to the game. The main change is that artillery has been introduced into the game. If you did look at my other videos, there was an artillery beta test for the last couple weeks. It went relatively well, very well I would say. There was an unlimited amount of people on the cannons in that beta test, and I believe that is the case in this update, but we will continue reading. And yeah, a lot of the maps have artillery. The positions have changed from the original game. You can see some great GIFs here. And everything like that. So the main update is artillery has been released into the game. It is a separate class. So when going in, you choose your faction, you choose your class, being infantry or artillery, your role, I would say, and then you choose your class, officer, NCO, etc. So that is the large update, and the only cannon in that update, as we can see here, is the 3-inch ordnance rifle, and I have more information about that cannon in the artillery in-depth video. That has 3 shell types: canister, shell shot, and case shot. The same as in the beta test and what they've been speaking about for a while. I have heard, and it's also noted in here, that there will be an additional limber being added soon, but for now all there is the 1 limber and the 1 cannon, that being the 3-inch ordnance gun. Another important addition that was not in the beta test are the drill camps. So you're going to have added Union and artillery drill camps. The infantry regiments spawn on the infantry drill camps, while the artillery crews spawn in on the battery camps. So it is important to note that the 2 drill camps, infantry and artillery, are not in the same place. So you will spawn into a different map if you spawn in as artillery. But all the features of the infantry drill camp will be on this map. Fire the cannon, there'll be targets, etc. You can see some images here. Excited to go check that out in the game as well. So another important feature of artillery is they've actually added more than 40 batteries to the maps with the correct number of guns at the specific times that they want to represent in those skirmishes. So as you watched in one of my artillery locations videos before this came out, these artillery pieces were moving around throughout the day at Antietam. But they are featuring specific moments throughout the battle on each of these skirmish maps. Most likely at the height of each skirmish, such as at Dunker's Church or Miller's Cornfield, etc., where those batteries were during that time. And they've added those 40 batteries into the game, and they're all playable. So that is really, really cool. And then we're going to go through. You have a list of all the different batteries on all the maps in here. Feel free to pause the video. I'll go pretty slow. But you can also check out this link in the video description to read more about that. And I have played some of these maps on the beta test. Some of the maps you want to aim directly at them and it'll explode on the ground at their feet. And on some of the maps using the dynamic fuse system, which I'll touch in a minute, you can't even do that. You have to use the case shot or shell shot mechanics of the shell exploding shrapnel in front of it, because the fuse is just too short to have the shot land at their feet. And we can see some of those batteries also that were featured in my artillery locations video. And we were pretty accurate on guessing which would be, so I would still go check that out. Really, really cool. So that's all the batteries. And of course, as noted in the artillery in-depth video, there's a forward spawn. So where the caissons are, that's the 4-wheeled wagon that holds the extra ammunition, is not used as an extra ammunition container, but is instead used as a kind of flag spawn point, although it is immovable. So the artillery crews can use that as long as it is not captured by enemy infantry or artillerymen as a forward spawn deploy, much like the flag. The difference is that it's not movable and it can't be shot down. You have to capture it by moving on it on that position. And we already noted the shell shot, case shot, and canister shot. You can check out some more in-depth on that in my artillery in-depth video. Of course, there is on this page as well a how-to for artillery. That's kind of outside the scope of this video, but you can also check that out. There's a few different steps to the loading process. Really, really cool. and as we touched on already, the dynamic fuse system. So there is no cuttable fuse in this update. How it works is based on the elevation screw is how far your fuse will be cut, essentially. So the farther you're shooting, the more elevated you are, the longer your fuse will be. There is also ricochet, which was in the beta test as well, and you can read up on that here. The rounds based on the fuse can ricochet off the ground, off buildings, off of anything, so that's really cool as well. And that's basically all of the artillery pieces of this update. The other pieces of the update, of course, there's some visual upgrades we can see on Harper's Ferry, some different lighting changes, textures. They've introduced new forest textures, which are right here, tree bark, ground textures, essentially. Really bringing out that artistic point of the game, the cinematic point of the game that a lot of competitors don't have, and that's what makes this game really great. And you can see some images of that here, and I do encourage you to go check out this link. Obviously, the quality will be much better viewing it directly. Another couple minor additions is that there's new animations for muskets, and I can play this video, and we can watch that happen. So now there is 2 different animations for your musket, and I do believe that it is random on what type of animation your soldier will use. And so there's that. Really great. There's some other animations as well here. The sword melee has been updated, the animation on that. Revolver, the aim of the rifle has been updated, etc. Bendable hat brim, so no more right shoulder shift going through your hat, which is great. Tents react to the wind in the drill camp and on the maps, which is all really great stuff. But minor. The larger changes that will help, for example, are this overtime braking timer. So if you noticed in the beta test, when you are going to lose the game, the timer actually starts filling up instead of just keep continuing to cap. So on a kind of final capture action, the timer will reflect that it is an end game capture mechanic, which is really great. You used to have to kind of guess, knowing the mechanics about the game. Oh, they're in final push, we're in last stand, blah, blah, blah. Now it's going to be much clearer, which is great. And then we have a whole list of minor updates, one of which I'm very excited about. They've replaced the 20th New York with the 20th Maine at Pry House. 20th Maine is my regiment, of course, and they were previously not in any skirmish areas, just on the drill camp, and we've been added to the game. That's really great. It's only possible to spawn on the flag of your regiment. So a previous bug in this game has been that the flag you could get mixed up, where if you're spawning, it will spawn you on either flag, not your own. And now it's going to fix that, which is a great addition, a great bug fix in my opinion. A warning and an auto kick feature for F9ing. We've had problems in regimented games where people kill themselves to lower tickets, which I do believe is kind of 4 tickets. I know that a team kill is 4 tickets, although I'm not sure on that. It could be just based on your morale level. Not your morale level, your information, skirmishing, etc. And then we, of course, have the 28th Massachusetts and 17th Michigan being added to Otto and Sherrick, replacing a couple of, I believe it was a Zouave regiment and one other, which is great. Another important note here, I don't exactly see it, but I have read it before in here, is that previously, if you're aiming at someone, based on internet issues, etc., you could be aiming in a completely different direction as the person on their screen, but still shoot them and kill them. And so, very good addition there. They have fixed that problem for the most part. You can't fix all internet issues, but that is going to help a lot with knowing if you're about to get shot, knowing where to dodge, etc. The Whitworth rifle, big problem which I noted in my video on the Whitworth. The sights are now fixed on the Whitworth, so you can actually use it for aiming with your bayonet fixed, etc. Previously, the sights were pretty bad with bayonet fixed and with bayonet unfixed, so that's great. The Whitworth was one of the most accurate rifles of the war. And of course, there's tons of other different features, other bug fixes, I will say, and that's all going to be great. You can pause the video here and read them. I'm not going to touch on all of them. I have touched on most of them, which is really great. So, now that we've gotten through the update, we're coming up on 10 minutes. Want to keep this video as short as possible. We're going to speak about what's in store for the future. So artillery, they're aiming on adding the 12-pounder Napoleon next, as well as a second type of gun carriage for the 3-inch ordnance gun, as I noted before. And those are going to be really great. Something I'm really excited about. Look at these ammunition. Look at this ammunition for the 12-pounder. Beautiful, beautiful ammunition on that. Looks really great. Very excited. And then, of course, most importantly is the platform system. So the platform system is going to fix a lot of outdated infrastructure that's used in the game. I'm hoping that it's going to enable 200, 300-man servers to emerge. It's going to enable you to link different features that they've promised in the Kickstarter into the game, such as special rifles, special types of, faces and uniforms and whatever. And that's really going to be exciting. So really excited for War of Rights. They have definitely accelerated their development through this time. We went through a large period of stagnation, and we're kind of getting right back into it now, and it's really exciting. So thanks for watching the video. I will be putting out lots of videos this week on the artillery update. This is kind of just my first one. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.